Hello, so in this session, in this video, I'm just going to introduce you to a graphics package that you can use online from home called Photopea. And Photopea is really good. It looks a lot like Photoshop, which is a really powerful graphics package, but it runs totally in your web browser. It doesn't matter whether you're using Firefox or Chrome or Opera or Safari, whatever web browser, it works really, really well. And what I need to do today is I need to design a logo using Photopea for the Grand Designs project. So what I'll do, I'll start off in the file menu up here with File, New. And there's lots of options, but all I want to do is just a nice simple blank canvas. So I'm going to set the width to 400, the height to 400, and I'm going to put the title as well. So new project's a bit rubbish. I'm going to call it logo. Nice and straightforward, and just click create. There we go, so we've got a nice plain empty white canvas. What we now need to do is, I think I want a picture on here. So I'm going to open a new tab and go to bing.com/images. Just type the whole address in, bing.com/images, and we get to Bing. Bing's a better search engine for images than Google is, certainly at the moment. I'm going to search for a picture of a house. And there are lots of pictures. Now these aren't really good for logos because they're a bit too detailed. A logo needs to be something you can blow up really big on a massive billboard or print really small on a tiny business card. So photographs, not necessarily ideal for that. But what I can do over on the right here, if I click filter, then I can go for type. So I can search by various different things like date. But if I go to type and clip art are those kind of cartoony drawing style pictures. Okay, and there are lots to choose from. So I'm going to go for, I quite like this one here, it's quite cute. You might want something a bit more formal or a bit more fancy. You can try different search terms, but I'm just going to go for this one for now. And what I'll do, remember, always click on it, so you get the big copy, and if I right click on that, and I get the image location, copy image location, that will give me, you could also just copy that. I'm not sure you couldn't copy that address up there actually. So just right click, oops. Try that again. Yeah, too far. There we go. So right click on the picture, copy image location, which is the address of the image. And then here, I can click File, and it's Open and Place. Okay, Open and Place will place the image on my canvas. And I could just open a picture that's on my computer, or I can paste the address in here where it says file name and open, and in a couple of seconds it will appear. Now it's a little bit slower than if you had Photoshop on your computer, but also it doesn't cost £600 like Photoshop does, so you know, I'll take the slight delay. So there's my picture. Now if you don't have the handles around the side, and you probably don't actually initially, if you click on the arrow up here and transform controls just there, that switches, toggles those little handles on and off. So I'll have them on, and I'm just going to resize the picture because it's a bit too big for me. Now be careful when you resize, because I don't want to do that, that looks silly, and I don't want to do that, that looks silly. So if I hold the shift key on my keyboard while I resize, then it forces it to stay in the correct ratio, which is good, and I'll put that in the middle. And it will even, you see the little red lines there, it will snap when it gets close to the centre, so I can put it in the middle. So that's the start of my logo. Next, I think I want a rectangle around the outside, like a border around the outside. So the toolbar down here on the left hand side has the rectangle tool quite far down. It's a filled rectangle to start with, and if I click on that and I draw a rectangle, then it looks like that. Which is not really ideal because now I can't see my picture. I just wanted the border. So the way to do that is up at the top here we've got fill and stroke. If I do the stroke first, the stroke is the edge, and we'll go for a flat colour. We'll change the colour in a minute, but for now I just want the flat colour. I don't want a gradient and I don't want a texture or a pattern. You can try that if you want, but I'll just go for a simple colour. And then the fill, the white square with the red lines through is see-through. So there we go, now I've got my border which goes around my picture, and that looks a bit more suitable for a logo, I think. Still not totally happy with it. Now over here on the right hand side, and there's lots of different things to follow in this video, this is the layers window where you've got the different elements of the picture. So there's the picture of the house, and you can see it's got the handles around it, and there's the rectangle which I've just drawn with the handles around it. Okay. Now this rectangle here, if I go back onto the rectangle tool, here are our settings. Now I can change the thickness here. This is the 4.4 point. So if I drag that up, that gets thicker. If I drag it down, it gets thinner. So we'll settle on something kind of in the middle. And then the colour, at the moment it's red. I don't want it to be that shade of red. So if I click on that bigger box there, I can choose any colour I like. I can choose blue or green, and you can drag this around here to try different shades of green. Another thing you could do is if I want to pick a colour from the picture, so I might want that blue there for the door and for the kind of the roof colour. If I just click on that now, it'll pick that exact shade of colour. And then you must click OK. If you don't click OK, if you just close it, it'll go back to what it was. I do that all the time. So you must, it's really important, I'll do it again, just hover over there and click. You must click OK when you're done. And now my border colour matches my house colour, which I think is a little bit nicer in terms of the design. The next thing I think I want to add is some letters. Now I don't want to add the whole Grand Designs text, I think that would be too big. So I'm going to just put in some letters. So here's the text tool down on the left hand side, and I'll just click on here, and again it takes a second just to think about it, and I should get a flashing cursor in a moment. Try that again. Nothing there. I'll try typing, see what happens. Oh, there we go. So I've got a G, and it's a little bit on the small side, so if I just highlight that, up at the top here I've got my font size, again with a slider so I can make it smaller or bigger. So I can go all the way up to 150. And I've got different fonts here. So instead of Deja Vu Sans, there are lots of different fonts I could choose from. And you can see a preview of what they might look like. I'm going to go for, let's have a look. Now there was one I saw recently that I really liked. I can't find it now, because there are hundreds in here. So I'm going to go for that one. Let's try that one. And of course if you don't like it, you can always just change it again. I'll leave it for now just for the sake of the video, but that font size, it's a little bit small. Even at 150 I think that's a bit small. So if the slider won't go any higher, you can also type in the box. Let's try 180. There we go, and I can move that around up in the corner here. And then I want another one. Now I want all the same font, all the same settings, so I could just go and type it again. Or over here in the layers window, I can right click and duplicate the layer. Now I've got two of them, I've got G and G copy. If I move one of these out the way, there we go. And you're going to go back to the text tool to edit it. And I've got D for designs. And then I've got my GD for Grand Designs. Now actually I think I might change the colour again. So again, text tool, highlight the writing, and the colour is this black square here, and exactly the same process. If I go for the red this time on the house, it will match the red colour of the house. And if I go back to my G and do the same thing, black up there, choose the colour of the house, click OK, and to see it without all the lines in the way and everything, if I just click on the background layer and maybe even turn the handles off, there we go, we've got my Grand Designs logo. It's not perfect, I think you could probably have a go, see if you can do something better, but have a go at making your own logo. One last thing before we go, of course, once you've finished you'll need to save this, and there are a couple of ways to save it. You could just click the download PNG button, and I'm not sure if that would work actually, so let's not do that. Let's go File, Export as JPEG or PNG. You can just download it that way. There it is, and you can just click Save, and you can save it to your computer. So save that file, and of course you'll save it to your Year 9 folder, Mine's downloading up there. That's all sorted. The other thing you can do is if you click File, Publish Online, and JPEG, it will actually save it to a website called Imgur. I'll just allow that pop up. I never know if it's pronounced Imgur or Imager, but anyway, there it is saved to the internet. So again, you can just right click and save the image. You can see we've lost a little bit of quality there on the letter G. It's gone a little bit wobbly, but that's not the end of the world. And then once you've downloaded the logo, you've got your logo. So that's how you use Photopea to create a logo on any computer with a web browser. Now it's your turn.